and when you reach 10 speeches, you earn Competent Communicator Award, and then you go into the advanced manuals like Advanced Communicator Bronze, Silver and Gold, and so on, and similar on the leadership track when you come here and take up roles and the officers' roles also. Let me set up some ground rules for today. Please make sure that your mobile phones are on silent. There should be no crosstalk. And if you want to say something, please raise your hand. So let me start this session by introducing or rather welcoming the guests for today. So do we have some members or some guests who are coming here for the first time? Welcome to Toastmasters. Can you please introduce yourself?
I'm Rashmi.
May I request you to please stand up?
I'm Rashmi. Hello everybody. I work with ERPU group since 1.5 years now. This is the first time I'm attending this session. I'm curious. I'd like to look forward to a lot of it. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Kanchan. I'm also working in ERPU again since 1.5 years in Cisco. I got to know a lot about Toastmasters from Rashmi, so
Hi everyone, I'm Jaipal. I work in NSSPG. This is the first time I'm just coming. I have heard a lot about this, and I work almost 3 years in Cisco.
Everyone, I am Gaurav Tiwari. I am an SDU and I am for last 1 year, almost 1 year here. And I got to know about this Toastmaster through this Gaurav.
Welcome. I hope you all have heard a story of a tortoise and a hare who were very good friends, and they decided to, they had an argument that who is faster. So they decided to sort out this argument by doing a race and see who comes first. So they had a race one day and they started from the race line, and tortoise and hare ran faster, and going ahead he said, okay, I'm already ahead and let me just relax a little bit. So he sat down under a tree and he soon fell asleep. And tortoise slowly and steadily reached the finish line and won the race. And when the rabbit woke up, he ran and realized that he has lost the race. So the moral of this part is that slow and steady wins the race. So we'll see how this is a story which we have all heard from childhood. So there is a twist to this story which we will hear throughout this Toastmaster session and see where it goes. So let me set the agenda for today. We have a speaker today, planned speech Project 2 by Priyanka. She'll be delivering her second speech, and we will have a table topics later on. So let me start by introducing General Evaluator, asking him to introduce himself and his team. Raj, can you please come here?
Thanks, Chetan. So I read the Toastmasters international site. If Toastmaster is a project, General Evaluator is a project manager. I'll just evaluate proceedings of the meeting today. For that, I'll call upon my team. Who is the timer? Today is Deepak. Can you introduce your timer?
Yeah, hi. Today I'll be keeping a check on timings for the speeches. It's supposed to be for maximum 6 minutes. So at the end of 4 minutes, I'll be showing the green signal. At the end of 5th minute, I'll be showing the blue marker, and at the end of 6th minute, I'll be showing the
5 to 7.
Okay, so corrections, it's 5 to 7 minutes. So at the end of 5th minute, I'll be showing green. At the end of 6th minute, I'll be showing blue marker, and at the end of 7th minute, I'll be showing red. And by the end of this time, you have to conclude your speech. For table topics, it's generally for 1 to 2 minutes. So at the end of 1 minute, I'll be showing green marker. At the end of 1.5 minute, I'll be showing blue marker, and at the end of 2 minutes, I'll be showing red marker. So by that time, I have to conclude your table topic. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepak. We have the grammarian for today, English. Vijay.
Hi, I'm Vijay. Today I'll be the grammarian. Basically, I'll be looking for the filler words like pauses, and some unnecessary use of and, so, etc. So that's what my job will be.
Thank you, Vijay. We have a prepared speech by Priyanka, which has been evaluated by Sadhana. Can you introduce Ramesh?
Yeah. Good afternoon. Priyanka's speech being organize your speech. Basically, I'm going to evaluate Priyanka's speech, which will include how's the organization, what's the body, what's the interaction and flow of speech for Priyanka. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all from my side. Over to Chetan.
Thank you, Ji. Before I move on to the next introducing table topic master, I want to you should all have 3 forms on your side. One is the charter member form, which is as I mentioned in my previous sessions, we are looking to charter this club, and we all as members need to fill this form and submit it to Toastmasters International. So I request you to fill this form casually or at the end of the session according to your comfort level. Make sure you don't write anything on the membership type. You can leave that as blank. You can fill it as far as you can go. The second form you should have is the speech evaluator form, which you will use to evaluate Priyanka's speech. And third, you should have the best table topic voting sheet. If it is not around, I request you to pass on. Now I would like to introduce table topic master for the day, Mr. Gopal. Gopal, can you please come in?
Yeah, I am Gopal. Today I am table topic master of this session. As a table topic, you all know it's an impromptu speech, unprepared speech, and I will ask any one of you to come over the dice for a 2-minute and speech, and at the same time you could I have also, there are the chits over there, you could choose from there. That's all from us.
Before I invite Priyanka to give her speech, may I request Sadhana so that she can read the objectives of her speech? Project 2.
Priyanka's being organize your speech. The objectives is basically select an appropriate outline which allows listener to easily understand and follow your speech. Make your message clear with supporting material directly contributing to that message. Use appropriate transitions when moving from one idea to another idea, and then create a strong opinion and conclusion.
Thank you, Sadhana. In my whole life, I have tried to follow my dreams, and I am a strong believer in saying that follow your heart, follow your dream. But looks like Priyanka is going to overturn me by saying that don't follow your dream. Let me invite Priyanka to give her speech and see what she says about that. Please welcome Priyanka.
So how many of us have listened to the Stanford commencement speech by Steve Jobs in 2005? Probably the YouTube video or something like that. So I expected more hands, but still awesome. So why did we listen to it, and what made us actually listen to it with so much interest? I think it's because it's a motivational speech. It motivates all of us to follow what we want in life and follow our heart. So Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, I'm here to talk about not following your dreams. I say do not follow your dreams because I think don't follow your dreams, chase them. Run after your dreams. Dreams, ideas, whatever one might call them, we all have dreams and aspirations. Some of us also have some ideas which can change the world. Then what is it that is stopping us from implementing it? Let us now understand what are some things that come as an obstacle between us making our dreams into reality. Future lies in those hands of the people who believe that their dreams are strong and they have strength and beauty in their dreams. No dream is unachievable. We feel we build castles in the air and we cannot achieve some things. but I think it's always good to build castles in the air, but with good foundations to support them. 3 things that I'm reminded of when I talk about dreams and aspirations and how to change my life for betterment are: number 1, passion; number 2, pain; number 3, pursuit of happiness. I think these are the 3 things that guide me and enable me to change my life to be myself rather than being somebody else. Let me now talk about all these 3 things and explain as to why I think these 3 are the ones that guide me in my life and can enable me change myself for the betterment. Passion. If there is one thing that can enable us to convert our problems into challenges and to make dreams a reality, it is passion. We all need to be passionate about whatever we do. One classic example is being passionate about our work. These days, we spend most of our life at workplace, and it's very important to be enjoying what we do in our regular life. A person who is passionate about his work is enthusiastic to come to work every day and goes back satisfied. I urge you all to follow your heart. When you are doing the work that you are really interested in, you go back satisfied and it feels right. Every day becomes a bonus to you, regardless of how much you are being paid for. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams, and nobody can stop you. Try to start working on things that you are passionate about and not about what things others are passionate about. Most of the times it so happens that we follow the crowd, we live the lives of others. But I urge you all to follow your dreams and live lives of your own. Now once we start discovering what our passion is and start working towards it, one thing that makes our progress slow down is the second P, pain. Most of the times, it is the fear of rejection that becomes an obstacle between us making our dreams into a reality. How do we overcome these failures? At some point in time, we must remember that every man is bound to fail. It is not called a failure anymore if we are interested in what we are doing. We stumble, but we get up and rise to the occasion. I would rather fail in a cause that would ultimately triumph than to triumph in a cause that will ultimately fail. So there is no point running behind things that we are not interested. It's okay if you fail, but go behind your dreams. So what if I fail? We fail at times because we try to emulate others. Why should I be one Mr. John Chambers or a Bill Gates or a Steve Jobs? Let me be myself. We are the best when we be ourselves. So I am the best person in the world if I am being myself, Priyanka. So ask every failure, what is in here for me to learn? Be optimistic and take failures as stepping stones for success. Yet another reason for failures is that we concentrate on very small things and forget the bigger things that make more impact in life. One example here is when we try to shift jobs and look for a role in a new company. The first thing that comes to our mind is the brand name that the company carries and the pay package. But the list shouldn't end here. The first 6 to 8 months probably we will be happy. But at the end of the day, after 8 months, we realize that it's the love for the work that it will drag us to the office and not the pay or the brand name of the company. What matters most is the sense of integrity, the quality and beauty of work that we pursue. So let us now assume that we find our passion, we go behind it, we overcome the obstacles. This will lead us towards the path, the pursuit of happiness. There is happiness in chasing our dreams. There is happiness in overcoming obstacles when we love what we do. There is happiness in achieving our goals. But the real happiness actually comes when we start achieving our personal goals. Say having a good family, achieving personal goals like promotion or status in the society, fame, etc. But the ultimate happiness, I believe, also serves in being complacent with what we have in life. It's good to be happy when we achieve something in life, but at the same time, it's important for us to sit back, be complacent with what we have, and enjoy the little moments of life. To realize this ultimate happiness, I believe serving others is also very important. We need to look beyond ourselves. We need to stand for something that is larger than ourselves. Martin Luther King once said, "Not everybody can be famous." I repeat, not everybody can be famous, but everyone can be great. How can one be great? Because greatness is determined by service. To move forward, you have to give back. Along with achieving your personal goals, it's very important to give something back to the society. Chase your dreams, be passionate about what you do, laugh at your failures, and make liars out of those people who don't believe in you, and achieve success. I would like to end quoting, for those of us who fought for it, freedom has a special flavor. The free will never know. So only when you work hard and achieve something will you know the fruit of the success. So I would like to say, fight for what you want in life. Go chase your dreams today, now.
That was really good speech, quite inspiring. Congratulations, Priyanka, on completion of the project too. Now let me move on to the story which we were at. The tortoise and hare was quite dejected, and he went back and did some soul searching. He found out that he had been very confident, overconfident, careless and lax. This time he decided he'll give another challenge to a tortoise and he will not slow down. So they again began a race, and this time hare just started and didn't stop anywhere and finished the race, and he won by several miles. So the moral of the story of this part is that fast and consistent will always beat slow and steady. So if you have two persons in your team, one who is slow and steady, methodical, and another who is fast and consistent will always succeed and rise the ladder much faster than slow and steady. This is the part 2 of the theme. Let's see what happens in the next, but before that, let's move on to table topics, and let me welcome Gopal to conduct the table topics conference. And before I call upon Gopal to conduct table topics, you all have the speech evaluation forms. So I request you to take a couple of minutes to fill out these forms for Priyanka and give her to Priyanka. And while you do that, you all have these charter member forms. So all the members who are already a member of Cisco Vani Club or rather Cisco Samvad, I request you all to fill up these forms and hand over to us at the end of this session so that we can go ahead with the charting process. Also, I wish to say to new members or rather new guests who have come here that we conduct this meeting every Monday, 1:30 to 2:30 in this room, and we typically have stands which is like the one we had today by Priyanka, and then we have table topics which we will just see now. And I request you to become a member of Cisco Vani. Jiva Kumar is VP membership, he is around, and you can contact him for membership or for that matter of any of our officers to become a member, and we wish to see you every time in these sessions. So if you have all filled out the speech evaluation forms, can we go ahead for a table topic session? Gopal, may I please welcome you to conduct?
Good afternoon all. So, for responding. So, as you all know, the table topics, the impromptu speech. You have to come here and select the topics, and you have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. So, I want the volunteer who can come here and take the sheets. So, let me make easier for you, as today's theme is about the teamwork and the slow and steady always is better, and also about the consistent and the fast. So it's more about all those topics. You could structure your thought in that way and come here and pick the check and speak on the topics. If there will be no volunteer, then I will choose randomly.
Okay. So the topic says important qualities of a leader. Let me confess, I just came here to just relieve myself of all the tension that I had some time ago. So, what I think are the best qualities of a leader is enabling people to lead, enabling people to follow him not by force but through love. That's the most important quality of a leader, because a leader who leads his team not with love but by force will try to manage his team only for some time. Later, it's the love and the dedication for the work that will make the team work for him. Also, yet another quality of a leader, I think, is to be honest. Most of the times we observe leaders who say something else and do something else behind the screens. So I believe a leader should be honest in good times as well as bad times. Thank you.
Describing the quality of the leader. So there are a lot more topic on the leadership, and so I just want to welcome the guest or volunteer who want to give from these topics.
Maybe you read out the topic and call.
Okay.
Just one topic.
Okay. It's related to the economy, and the topic is positive aspect of the recession.
Good afternoon, friends, Toastmaster and Table Topics Master. This is my second recession, so I can speak from experience that sometimes recessions are good. Back in '98, I was in the valley. Cisco was growing. We were probably growing at almost more than 20-30% at the time. And you look back at now, we are growing hardly 6-7%. It was the heydays in the valley. Everybody was all gung-ho. The only thing in any gathering with my friends, the only thing people talked about was how to start the next .com. There was pet.com, book.com, and anything.com people could think of, and people were willing to try it out. I got bored with it after a point that there has to be something more to life than just money and IPO and these .coms. I wanted to see and travel the world. I wanted to experience different aspects of life. And when recession came, very quietly inside, I was very happy because I felt I got my friends back. They were more willing to talk to me. They were more willing to go out, travel the world, go for hikes, enjoy nature and enjoy beauty. This time, I think the recession has a different meaning. I had always felt that the way the Wall Street had grown and the way the Wall Street was pushing companies for profitability, I took my finance class in my MBA, and unfortunately or fortunately, I had become very good at financial markets and figuring it out, even though I didn't choose it as a career. And I could figure out that these collateralized debt obligations or CDOs, they were very artificially created instruments, and they wouldn't last long. And I always wondered what happens when the actual mortgage never gets paid. It would impact everything which is built on top of it. And to my dismay, it came true that most of these mortgages were not paid and they went bankrupt, and it impacted the larger economy. So what I feel is the recession is good. It has made us more realistic about life. It has made us more careful about how we save money and how we dispense our money, not to rely on credits, but to build it on real things. Thank you.
Thanks, Shakta, for giving a larger picture of the recession and how it impacts the Wall Street. So let me call upon the next topic. BJP debacles recent events and controversy. Anyone want to speak on that? I'm just repeating again. BJP debacles recent events and the controversy.
I would like to.
Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to talk on this BJP's whatever called as debacle or controversy. I think it's very common in any political party because most of them will work for their power. They want to build a government. They want to rule the country. And BJP is not out of it. And they were trying hard since 2004 to 2009, and they lost in the elections very badly. And then they the infight in the BJP started. But more to it, the media has blown whatever the controversy was very small to big. Advani was there. He is a senior leader. He was there in the party since its birth. And there are new leaders are coming up, like Arun Jaitley or whoever. Obviously, there will be their self-interest or motives. They have to come up. They have to come against it because of the interest of the party. But everybody started thinking of their self-interest. That led to this controversy. More than that, the media has given this controversy a hype, and that's why the debacle of the party has been started. And with that, I would like to end this.
Thanks for explaining us the BJP debacles and how media is blowing up the whole issue. So let's move to the next topic. How could you create opportunity for your own growth and advancement at Cisco? I'm just repeating it again. How you could create opportunity for your own growth and advancement at Cisco?
Thanks. Good afternoon, everybody. What I have been doing all these days is, the first thing is networking. The second thing is, you manage your EPM. You don't allow your manager to talk about the reviews. You don't have set her the agenda for yourself. You have your regular one-on-ones with her. Not only updating her with whatever is happening with the project, but also talk about your personal interests, what you're passionate about, how you want to do it, how you want to progress in it. And then the impact will automatically have its own effect, and it will start giving results. That's what I have seen. I joined Cisco as a vendor employee. How I worked, I was very passionate. I took a lot of initiatives in working towards my goals or the company's goals or whatever the job was given for me. I took a lot of initiatives and I started working towards it. At one point, when my contract was about to get over, I went and spoke to my manager saying, next month it's getting over. What do you want me to do? Then she was the one who said, okay, there's another opening if you are interested. Go for it or don't want to go for it. There were two options. One was for HR and one for IT. And I chose IT. Since I was in IT, I was working for IT at that time. And I went for IT learning group trainings, technical training. It was very hard for me. I have already mentioned this in my icebreaker. It was very hard. I didn't know the T of technical. But I learned all the terminologies and I started working on how it works, what I have to talk to the client when I talk to them about the contents, and how I have to manage the vendors around it. And that's how I managed to learn a lot about technicality of the technical trainings. And then now we have moved towards learning development solutions, which is another learning for me because mostly I'll be doing some soft skill programs or the leadership or management skills programs. And I'm very excited about it. What we have to do is take initiative, network, talk to your manager openly of what you want to do, manage your APMs. Back to the tabletop.
Thanks, Sujit. I think it will be useful for all of us and it will help us in preparing our EPM and also growing our career. Thanks, Sujit.
How I will create opportunities to grow at Cisco. So the theme I introduced, I want to relate this topic to that theme and say that I want to grow at Cisco by being slow and steady. By being slow and steady when the other people in my team are relaxing, they're sleeping. I want to be slow and steady and move ahead. Also, I want to be fast and consistent, because fast and consistent will always be slow and steady. By being consistent at whatever I do, whenever I do, so that my manager can rely on me at each time and every time. Then the topic which is yet to come in the next part of the theme, I'm going to reveal it here. And I can grow here at Cisco by identifying my core competency and change the playing field and suit it according to what I am strong at and not what is given to me. It can be a technical field, it can be a managerial field, it can be anything. Last but not the least, I'll grow at Cisco by being a member of a team, because I believe together everyone achieves more. By being a member of a team, I can harness the power of other people's core competency and not only myself, my competency. Thank you.
Thanks, Chaitanya. So going ahead with the Chaitanya, the next table topic is how could one identify his own strength or weakness. I'm just repeating it again. How could one identify his own strength or weakness?
Kumar. So I'd like to talk about how one could identify his own strength or weakness. There is, I'm sure you might have heard of this, there is something called Johari window. And what it says is that, first thing is, some strengths and weakness are only visible to us. That you could find it through self-analysis. Go book a room in Hawaii or somewhere and then think about yourself for 1 day, 2 days, don't think about anything else. You'll find it out very easily. The next thing is your manager. Obviously, he is the person who is working with you in a project or for a whole 3 or 4 years. And so he will obviously know what your strength and weakness is. The third one is your peers. And you can always look up to your peers, and that's what Toastmasters is about. We are here to support, and that's what we do here, self-evaluation, right? We evaluate the strength and give suggestion to people. Here is the point where you have to improve. And personally, in my opinion, it's always important to know the weakness than to know the strength, because knowing the weakness will make you grow more, and it will make you, that will be your strength actually. Back to table, Dr. Master.
Thanks for expressing a view on the weakness, how one can identify his weakness or strength. And it will, I am sure it will be helpful for all of us to identify our strong points and just carry forward on those points as well as the weakness and try to remove them.
I would like to just take this topic a little forward. Obviously, I won't have confidence, but I would like to beg to differ you rather. All right, and I'll build upon that. So a couple of things that you mentioned, that first of all, talk to many people, talk to your peers, talk to your manager, and talk to yourself, right? All of us, we constantly do that, or try to do that. Now there is one lacuna in this entire scenario is, you always, when people give you feedback, it's based on some facts which have already happened with them. Like you work with the manager, you work with your colleagues, etc. So obviously not all the findings that you would get from these guys would be accurate. Those are based on some of the experiences that you've had with them. All right, this is point number one. Point number two is, you have mentioned that always try to work on your weaknesses. If you try to work on your weaknesses, please understand, every person has his own limits. You spend your life working on your weaknesses, you actually spend up 90% of your energy just to chase your weaknesses and try to make up those. However, if you try to work on your positive aspects, those will take you more than 95% in your lifetime. So this is what I would like to say. Sorry to differ, but
Thanks thanks Jayant for giving a different perspective on the whole issue, and I think it will bring your thought in more perspective and to look at the whole problem into a different manner. Anyone else want to talk on this? Okay, let's move on to the next topic. Okay, this is topic about the today's theme: slow and steady versus fast and inconsistent. Which way to go? Whether you want to choose the person who is slow but steady, or the person who always do some mistake, but maybe sometime it may be that he may be the inconsistent, but he will be always do the work very fast.
My answer to that, thank you Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, good afternoon again. My answer to that is it depends. It depends upon what is the context. Does the context require you to be slow and steady and consistent, or does it require you to be fast, maybe make a few mistakes, but mistakes which don't have a huge repercussion around them? Mistakes which are okay to do. And I'll take that example more around the technology products we build, right? Let me bring it to something which is more closer to our hearts. And I think if Cisco was always slow, steady, we wouldn't be here today. The fact that we are here is also an example that we were fast, we make a few mistakes, we are sometimes inconsistent. Our customers sometimes are angry with us, and we still are able to work ourselves around it and address those customer problems. If you try to build the most perfect product from day one and say, I'm going to take the slow and steady approach and build the most perfect product, you're never going to meet the time to market. So when you are trying to balance the time to market versus trying to balance it with being very, very consistent, you're not going to achieve that. And then let me take one example, because VoIP, voice over IP, was a technology. When it first started, it was very inconsistent, very unreliable, but people wanted to still use it. I was in the US and I wanted to talk to my husband, so I have experimented with every VoIP technology that was out there, and some of them were very horrible. Where we are today is very much further away from where we started probably 10 years back. So I think sometimes it's okay to be fast and inconsistent. So it depends upon what is it that you want to do. What's your end goal? Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Excuse me. Okay, you want to go? Please. It's okay. Fine.
Please come.
Okay.
I always believe in making mistakes but not repeating them again. So with this, I welcome Devika.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster. Good afternoon, everybody. Most of you know me, and those who don't know me, I'm Devika. I'm part of IT vendor management team here. I'm here, and I would like to take up the same topic, slow and steady or fast and inconsistent. This is what I would like to talk about. As and in contrast with the theme of the day, where the story of hare and tortoise. And hope you must have read this hare and tortoise story has taken a turn in today's scenario. It was a story which was told to us that hare and tortoise had a race, and then hare was very confident, overconfident rather, so wherein actually the tortoise won the race. Okay, so this is what it was. And now again the story has taken a twist when I said it is told that like tortoise thought for a while, and he came back and told hair. Can we have a race? But this time it's, earlier we had a race on land, this time it will be in water. That's when hair has to back up, and we all know why it is. And there was a third person who was a guru for them, who came in between and explained them that if you both go together as friends, you can really win. Why don't you have a race on the land as well as in the water? And then they both were quiet for some time and thinking about it, what to do, how to do this. And then there came into their mind, why don't I, Hare said, why don't I carry you on my back and run and cover the land distance? And then after which Tata said, yes, I can take you on my back on the water where we can cover the water distance too. So together they both could cover and reach the destination set by their guru, which tells which is very much applicable in today's scenario, where teamwork is very much required to achieve the destination or the goal which has to be required. So teamwork really pays for it. It's not that just the one path which we have to have a race to do. So this is what I wanted to do.
Thanks, Devika, for explaining the power of the teamwork.
I want to say something. I think I should not have given the podium to Devika because that was my theme, which was part 3 and part 4 shifting. But anyway, I'll still carry on with my theme later on. And Gopal, you want to invite somebody else?
Yeah. Let me invite short. One last. Thanks, Gopal, to the Toastmasters. I'll be talking about the same topic, and I would second Savita's opinion that it depends on the context. Because I would like to believe that slow and steady wins the race, but because I am slow and steady. But I've seen from my experience that making mistakes, doing something fast and making mistakes, you can learn faster and then achieve things faster. So I think fast and inconsistent is way to go in certain cases, whereas slow and steady is way to go in other cases. Thanks.
This is the last topic of the today's table topic, and I want to give this topic to the guest. This is the guest speaker. Okay. This is the topic about you have to list your core competency which you feel suitable in every field of life, not only in the technical or maybe it is suitable for, it will make you win in every aspect of life. Any guest?
Hello everybody, I'm Rashmi, coming here for the first time. The prime objective being learning, which I still say is the basis for life, the topic that we suggested here. See, the other day, I do maintain a blog, and the other day, on the lighter side, I had written that what motivates you to come to office every day. To me, it was my new slippers which made me come to office today. But to add to it, right, basically, to see a change in the routine, we need to learn. Learning provides a better approach to see the routine things also in a different way. So I think that helps us grow. Continuous learning in life, be it in any sphere, would help us grow, achieve things efficiently, think maturely, and get a content in life. Thank you.
Thanks, Rashmi, for taking the table topic on the very first day. And with this, I close today's table topic session and back to the Toastmaster.
Do all of you have that voting chits, table topic voting chits, where you have to vote for the best speaker of the day? If not, please raise your hands. May I ask one of the officers to please pass on the check? And meanwhile, I'll build on where Devika has revealed my theme of the day, and I want to build on the part 3, where Tortoise was very, very sad, and he said that I can never beat the hare. He did some soul searching and thought that let me change the playing field. He identified he played on his core competency. So he invited hare for another race, and they started from the race line and they ran on the land and they reached the river bank. Here was like bewildered, like what do I do? And then tortoise went into the river and reached the finish line. So this way, even if he was not fast and consistent, but he changed his playing field such that to suit his core competencies. And we'll see what happens in the last part of the theme. Now let me call upon the general evaluator of the day to evaluate the session and then his team to evaluate the whole session. Parag.
Thanks, Chetan. So I call upon the Grameen of the day, Vijay, to provide his evaluation.
So to start with, Chetan, the complete all the speeches that you've given, you used 1 R, 2 so's, 2 likes, and 2 ands. Priyanka, in your speech, you used 2 so's and 1 R. Gopal, you used 2 so's, R, 1 and. Sheila, you used 1 and. Kumar, you used 1 and 1 actually, very not correct. Devika, you used so twice, like twice, twice. Rashmi, you used once, see once, but basically and so once.
Thanks, Vijay. So moving ahead, I'll call upon the speech validator for today for Priyanka's speech. Sadhana.
Great job. First of all, the title of the speech, which is valuable to all of us, connected with us, which are the dreams that we want to chase. So that's good. And then there was a great preparation. There was a good organization, Priyanka. We had examples. You had logical steps as you walked through what you spoke about. The conclusion was very smooth and effective. What is it that could have been done different? Only few things. One is you kind of looked into your notes quite often, which is not recommended. A little more eye contact would have worked out. And I think the other feedback I had gotten was, when you stand behind the podium, you're trying to have that comfort level of being behind the podium and not really bringing out your body language. So try to. But the good thing about this whole P2 was great preparation, great organization, and a good team. So congratulations.
Thanks, Sadhana, for the evaluation. I will call upon the timer with the timing details.
Yeah. So today we started session at 1:32 p.m. and starting with Chetan took 4 minutes 16 seconds for welcome speech and introduction of the guest and to start with the theme of the day. And then Parag took 2 minutes 9 seconds for introduction of the general evaluator. And then for Chetan again took 1 minute 2 seconds for introduction for the membership forms, etc. Then Gopal took 15 seconds for introduction about the table topics. Then Sadhana took 26 seconds for telling about the expectation from the speech of the day. Then Priyanka took 7 minutes for the second speech. And then Chetan took 2 minutes 48 seconds for in between. And Gopal started with the table topics for the day. And he took overall of 4 minutes for coming in between and telling about the topics of the day. And for the table topics to start with, Priyanka took 56 seconds. Savita took 2 minutes 4 seconds. And Madhukar took 1 minute 36 seconds. Sheila took 2 minutes 2 seconds. Chetan took 1 minute for 24 seconds. Jabbar took 1 minute 24 seconds. Jayan took 1 minute 8 seconds. Savita for the second table topic, she took 2 minutes 9 seconds. Devika took 2 minutes 6 seconds. Vijay took 34 seconds. And the guest table topic by guest Rashmi, she took 38 seconds. And then Sadhana took 1 minute 3 seconds for the speech evaluation. Thank you.
Thanks, Nikhil. I'll start over my evaluation on the Toastmaster. Toastmasters, the beginning was good. You set up the agenda of the theme of today's event. You gave a nice introduction about Toastmaster International, how is it working. But I had a few complaints regarding you. You didn't list up all the roles before we start up the meeting. There was grammarian missing for today. Speaker speech was very voluble, very insight to provide in your lane. And though you were not fully prepared and very nervous before the speech, it was very good. Kudos to you. The body language was positive. You had the tendency to involve all those people sitting in the room. That was good in your speech. The table topics, Gopal, you used a constant phrase, repeating it again and repeating it again. Repeating itself is activity twice. It's something like both of you, I'll throw both of you two out of the window. Both and two are recurring. So I think repeating itself is sufficient for the speech. That is all I have for you. And you set up a good team and brought it up with Chetan, whatever he got. And the first table topic speech, Priyanka, provided a good insight about love versus force and how the management should be brought up. It was good. And Savita's speech was very enlightening about the .com boom. You told about it in the first speech, but the problem was a little overshoot of time. And third speech, Prashant, is Madhukar, sorry. Madhukar, you just lagged about the overall theme you carried on well, but you lagged about eye contact. You were focusing on the podium, not talking to the viewers here. Sheila gave a very good insight of her life, providing a realistic picture of the growth. That was very enlightening for us. And Chintal, you brought in the constant efforts and sincerity in the work, which can bring out good in life. That was good. Next, we had Jiva Kumar and Jen, who talked about strength and weakness. We had two sides of the story. That was a good comparative discussion we had. And Savita also brought in slow, steady, and fast and inconsistent speech, and told the balanced approach, take the middle way. That was good in her speech. Same, we had Devika talking about the same topic, and she told the story about hare and tortoise, which was I have never heard of it. That was good for her speech. So that's all from my side. Over to Toastmaster Day. President.
Before I move on to closing the session, let me end the story of the tortoise and hare. They were both quite frustrated with once some tortoise is winning the race and hare is winning the race. They decided that now we are good friends. Let's work as a team. So what they decided, they started on a race, and tortoise got on hare's back and they covered the path till river, and then hare got on the back of tortoise and they covered the river, and they reached the finish line together. So together everyone wins, together everyone achieves more as a team. And even if you have your own core competencies, it's good to develop your own competencies. But there will be always some situations or contexts where somebody else will beat you. So it's always good to work as a team. So this was the theme of the day, which I also want to relate to Toastmasters. We all are a team here. We are a team of officers and we are a team of members. So our goal is to make sure that all the meetings happen in a well formal conducted way, and also as officers our goal is to ensure that everyone achieves their educational growth. This is the message which I want to share by this story to this Toastmasters. Now let me move on to the closing the session, where I want to have a couple of points. You all have charter member forms which I am sure you must have filled up. You can just pass it on to one of the officers. One of the officers can collect them. Also, Priyanka, have you the best table topics? Okay, so till the moment we have the best table topics of the day, I have some of the comments as not as a Toastmaster but as a president, which I want to make some comments about this meeting. One is that the table topics, I would love to see that table topics and the theme of the day, they should be correlated like it was today, but not all of the table topics were of the theme, and I would like to see them being synchronized more. Second thing which I have commented is like we should avoid some controversial and political topics which we should avoid in this Toastmaster session, because it is meant to be, we should not get into the controversial topics. That's what I can say. Also, starting from today, we are doing a video recording of the speeches and of the sessions. We'll make sure that we try to do all the video recordings starting from today, and we'll post them on CVision, where you can see yourself giving a speech or a table topics speech. Next, I'll move on to Rag. You have a, can you please come in?
Especially because table topics people can select many different topics. They like to speak as well as projects, right? And controversial thinking about something like India, Pakistan,
Exactly.
all of that.
So exactly, if people bring like topics as India, Pakistan or Congress, BJP or something, then the session doesn't go well. We should avoid such topics.
To be put a fine point to it, I think what you really want to be especially avoiding is comments on the sex, religion, or taking a hard stand on whether a political party is good or bad. I think discussion on politics per se is not a bad thing, as long as the content is apolitical. If you're making it very obvious that you have a proclivity or an inclination towards a political party, that sort of content should be kept.
The Toastmasters have some guidelines, and I think when Cisco allowed Toastmasters to also be instituted as part of our culture, there were certain guidelines which were put forth as well. So if you want, you can go back to any of the earlier Cisco clubs in San Jose and ask for the guidelines from those leaders as well. Because political topics per se, or the economy, or any social demographics thing is a very permissible thing.
I agree with you completely.
As long as it's not about religion, sex, or anything which is hurtful to the otherwise inclusive culture.
Sheila, you want to say something? Raising your hand.
No, Vignesh Kaur.
Okay. Thank you all for this valuable feedback. The best table topic speaker for today is Deepika. Please give her a big hand. With this,
You could give her ribbon.
Okay. Deepika, can you please come up? So before I end the session, I would like to have two feedbacks, one from Devika and one from a new guest who has come. So any of the new guests who is attending the session for the first time, you have anything to say? I'd love to hear from you. Your feedback on this session and Toastmasters.
Any guest want to speak on today's session?
Your general feedback, how did you like the session, or you did not like the session, or you would like to come again? New guests, we have 3 guests, anyone can just share his feedback. Or let's move on to the second feedback. Devika, you want to say something?
Oh, sure. Thank you. And I just wanted to mention, especially about the topic, table topic session. And I mean, it's a request. It's not in particular to anybody. So let's not debate on a person's deliverables. in the next, example, there is a topic which a person one